But let's focus now on the auto space. The Apex Court today will be hearing a PIL on the rollout of the E20 fuel. In the PIL, the lawyer has said that the nationwide rollout of E20 fuel is forced as millions of vehicles users are not designed essentially for such a blended fuel. Let's get in my colleague Danish Anand to give us more perspective on this. Danish.
Well, that's correct. Supreme Court CGI-led bench will be hearing a PIL challenging the E20 or ethanol 20% ethanol blended fuel rollout across the country. Well, this plea has been filed by a lawyer called Akshay Malhotra, and in this plea, he has said that millions of users, vehicle users, are being forced to use E20 fuel in their cars and bikes, whereas their vehicles are not yet compliant to run on those fuels. Moreover, in the PIL, the lawyer has also stated that since there is no proper study that has been done for this, there really needs to be an impact study that the top court must order the Ministry of Petrol and Natural Gases to conduct. Secondly, he has also said that India is one of the few countries where it is being forced by the government to use ethanol blended fuel. So all in all, if we see this, it is an important hearing, and it is coming at that time when India has achieved its 20% ethanol blending targets 5 years ahead of the scheduled time. And the top courts CJI will be hearing this matter somewhere around post 11:30 in the morning today.
Well, thank you, Danish, for bringing us that perspective. But let's stick with the auto team for now, because we're going to see it's the first of the month. So we're going to see the sales data coming in for all the automakers. And it's expected to be a month which was categorically impacted in the second half of August from the GST rate cut. Now, we have seen that on September 3rd and 4th, the GOM will meet essentially to consider a 10 percentage point cut on GST from 28 to 18%. And with that hope, consumers seem to have stayed away in the second half. When you look at the two-wheeler makers, we have seen across the board something like Bajaj and the Hero continue to be under pressure, and that largely seems to be because of the GST rate cut. But for TVS Motors, a 17% growth is expected, continuing that momentum at 4.46 lakh vehicles in this particular month. What is interesting is something like an Eicher Motors. It'll be the first time that the company clocks over 1 lakh vehicles, a growth of 48% in this particular month. And that largely seems to be what consumers are making of the GST rate cut, because bikes with 350cc and above will essentially could potentially see a higher rate for GST from 28 to 40%. But most of the Royal Enfield's vehicles are at 349cc, so they don't actually get expensive. But because of this tug and pull of the news flow before the official announcement, the company seems to have benefited at least in this month. So watch out for Eicher as well as TVS in the two-wheeler space. Amongst the four-wheelers, it's a somber picture to say the least. We've seen Maruti, Tata Motors as well as Hyundai largely being under pressure in the first 3 to 4 months in terms of sales. But M&M as well has actually come out, and we did put out the story that they've told their dealers to maintain lesser inventory as of now, to have the lesser expensive GST rate cut inventory. So we are seeing a rationalization of inventory as well. We also have something like the commercial vehicle growth largely to be penciled in a weaker time as well, while something like the tractor space is also something to watch out for. But we are getting live footage from China, and that's the SCO summit that you can see. We did see a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi on air right now as well, and talks will focus essentially on trade, border, as well as on the direct flights, as we've spoken as well. And we'll continue getting you that exclusive coverage all day today, because it's going to be one of the big ones, to say the least. We see all the heads from all the nations, they're gathering for a picture op, and you see President Putin as well as Xi Jinping right in there in the center as well. We did catch a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well, and there you go. He's on air right now as visible, while the others are also seen there to be as well. But let's